Hi guys, welcome back to MovieRecap. In this video, I'm going to recap one of the films. From 2009, The House of the Devil. Without any further, let's get started. The film opens in the 1980s, introducing a college student named Samantha. She's searching for a place to live and eventually finds a house she really likes. The landlady is surprisingly kind and tells Samantha she reminds her of her own daughter. Because of that, she doesn't ask for any deposit, only 1 month's rent in advance. Samantha gratefully accepts the offer, feeling lucky to find such a place. Later, she returns to her hostel, but her roommate has hung a "Do Not Disturb" sign on the door. With nowhere to go and still stressed about money, Samantha heads back outside. That's when she notices a flyer advertising a babysitting job. She calls the number, but no one answers. So she leaves a message with her room number and starts to walk away until the phone suddenly rings. A man on the line confirms her name and asks her to meet him outside the student affairs office. Samantha goes back to her room only to find it messy. Her roommate is there with her boyfriend. Ignoring the situation, she grabs her bag and goes to the meeting spot. But even after waiting for a long time, no one shows up. Disappointed, she leaves. Later, she meets her best friend Megan and tells her she needs money. Megan offers to ask her dad for help, but Samantha refuses. Instead, she mentions the babysitting job. Megan suggests tearing down all the flyers around campus so no one else can apply, but Samantha doesn't agree. When she returns to the hostel, her roommate tells her she received a call. Samantha calls the number again, but there's no response. As she's about to hang up, a man suddenly starts speaking. He explains that the girl he hired earlier backed out, and now he urgently needs a babysitter. Since Samantha is in need of money, she agrees to take the job.
I can always use the money.
That night, with a lunar eclipse about to happen, Megan drives her to the address. Megan offers to stay with her, but Samantha assures her she'll be fine. Megan then admits she secretly removed the flyers so Samantha would get the job. Even so, she feels something isn't right. They pass by a graveyard before arriving at a large mansion. There's already a car parked outside. A man named Ullman welcomes them at the door and invites them inside. He explains that they recently moved there and haven't had time to go out. He also mentions that the lunar eclipse will be clearly visible from this location. He takes Samantha to another room to explain the job. There's no child to look after. Instead, she's supposed to care for his wife's elderly mother, whom he refers to as Abel. At first, Samantha hesitates, but when he offers her $400, she agrees. Megan becomes suspicious. The payment seems too high, and Ullman gives her a strange feeling. She tells Samantha not to take the job, but Samantha insists she needs the money. Reluctantly, Megan agrees to pick her up at 12:30 a.m. and leaves. On her way back, Megan stops near the graveyard to smoke, but realizes she doesn't have a lighter. Suddenly, a man appears out of nowhere. Frightened, she freezes. He asks her if she's the babysitter. When she says no, he immediately shoots her. Meanwhile, Ullman gives Samantha some advance payment along with extra cash to order pizza. He tells her that his mother is mostly independent and that her only responsibility is to keep an eye on the house. Before leaving, he hands her an emergency contact number and also gives her the number for the pizza place. After some time, Samantha overhears Ullman speaking to someone. He says that the babysitter has arrived and that everything is now under control. Moments later, his wife comes up from the basement and introduces herself as Vivian. She casually mentions that she went downstairs to get her coat, which confuses Samantha. She had assumed Ullman was speaking to his wife earlier upstairs. As they prepare to leave, Vivian tells Samantha not to disturb the old woman, as she prefers to be left alone. Ullman once again reminds her to order pizza before they head out. Once they're gone, Samantha tries to call Megan, but her phone is switched off. She leaves a message asking her to call back once she gets home. After that, she orders pizza and begins wandering around the house to pass the time. She turns on the TV, where a discussion about the lunar eclipse is playing, but quickly switches it off. Instead, she puts on her Walkman and starts dancing around the house. While dancing, she accidentally bumps into a vase, knocking it over and shattering it. As she cleans up the broken pieces, she notices a nearby closet. Inside, she finds several coats, and begins to wonder why Vivian had gone all the way to the basement just to get one. While looking around, she also comes across some photographs. The family in the pictures is not Ullman's, but the car in the background is the same one she saw parked outside the mansion. Uneasy, Samantha steps outside to check, but instead of the car, she now sees a van parked there with a man standing behind it. Feeling unsettled, she goes back inside and tries calling Megan again, but still gets no answer. Growing anxious, she heads to the bathroom to calm herself down. That's when she hears footsteps somewhere in the house. Gripping a knife for protection, Samantha slowly makes her way upstairs to investigate. Inside one of the rooms, she makes a horrifying discovery: the dead bodies of the same family from the photographs laid out in the room. A pentagram is drawn on the floor. Terrified, she hears noises coming from the attic. As she cautiously moves toward it, the doorbell suddenly rings, startling her. She rushes downstairs and opens the door to find a pizza delivery boy. Quickly taking the pizza, she shuts the door. Outside, it's revealed that the delivery boy is the same man who shot Megan, and he hasn't left. Panicking, Samantha calls the emergency number Ullman gave her, but the operator tells her the number is invalid. Confused and frightened, she suddenly receives a call from emergency services asking if she reported a problem. She denies it, saying it must have been a mistake. Trying to calm herself, she sits down to eat the pizza while watching TV, but something about the taste feels off. Suspicious, she throws it in the trash. Soon after, she hears another strange noise and goes to investigate again. In the bathroom, she finds the bathtub filled with clumps of hair, which shocks her. Then, once again, she hears noises coming from the attic. Determined to find out what's happening, she slowly climbs the stairs. But the moment she turns on the light, the entire house loses power, plunging everything into darkness. Now the sounds grow louder. Something begins moving inside the attic and starts coming out. Terrified, Samantha tries to escape, but suddenly she feels weak. Her body begins to give out. Struggling to move, she barely makes it downstairs before collapsing in the hallway, unconscious. The lunar eclipse has begun. When Samantha regains consciousness, she finds herself lying on top of a pentagram drawn on the floor. Her hands and feet are tied, and panic sets in as she struggles to break free. Suddenly, Mr. and Mrs. Ullman enter the room, dressed in strange ceremonial robes. With them is the same man from earlier, their son, Victor. Then the truth is revealed. Ullman's mother is not a helpless old woman, but a grotesque, witch-like figure. She approaches Samantha and begins a dark ritual. Cutting her own arm, she lets the blood drip into a goat skull, then uses it to draw occult symbols across Samantha's stomach. She marks her forehead as well and tries to force her to drink the blood, but Samantha resists. In a desperate moment, she fights back, striking her and breaking free. She attacks the others and manages to escape the room, running for her life. As she rushes upstairs, she suddenly stumbles upon Megan's lifeless body. Shocked but determined, Samantha grabs a knife from the kitchen. At that moment, Victor appears and shoots her in the shoulder. In pain, Samantha retaliates, lunging at him with the knife and killing him. Hearing someone approaching, she quickly hides in a small bathroom in the attic. Meanwhile, Mrs. Ullman discovers Victor's body and heads upstairs, hunting for Samantha. Terrified, Samantha begins hallucinating, seeing the horrifying face of the witch over and over again. She then notices strange markings forming on her stomach. Mrs. Ullman finds her and drags her out, telling her it's too late. There's no stopping what has begun. Standing by the window, Mrs. Ullman begins chanting toward the moon. In a sudden act of desperation, Samantha attacks her from behind and kills her. Grabbing Victor's gun, Samantha tries to call emergency services, but the terrifying visions continue to haunt her. She runs out of the house. Ullman follows her as she makes her way toward the graveyard. He catches up and tells her that she has been chosen, that this is her destiny. Samantha points the gun at him, threatening to shoot, but Ullman calmly replies that she can kill him if she wants. He's only a messenger. It doesn't matter anymore, because it's already too late. Faced with no escape, Samantha makes a final decision. She shoots herself. The scene cuts to a news broadcast reporting on the strange lunar eclipse from the previous night, an event that baffled scientists due to how suddenly it ended. Then, in the final scene, we see Samantha lying unconscious in a hospital bed. A nurse gently pats her stomach and softly says that both of them will be fine. The film ends. Thanks for watching, and remember to turn on your notifications to watch more movie recaps like this one.